One of the aspects of the London mayoral elections is something very subtle, and it's the abolition of the second preference vote in favour of the first past the post. And this was supposed to, it was the pundits suggested that it was supposed to help people like Susan Hall, the Conservative Party candidate, and clearly it didn't help her enough. She was, of course, dogged by association with Rishi Sunak and with the Conservative bodies of Tuftyland, the squirrel stuff. Did you know that squirrels apparently brought in leprosy into the UK? You can get leprosy from squirrels, so maybe Susan Hall should be ringing a bell as she moves around from house to house in her dejected, conceded position as somebody who has been defeated. Ringing a bell. But the first past the post thing, this is surely a policy which is on the way out, and I would certainly hope that during the term of the next government, during the next Labour government, there will be considerable pressure put on the government to change the current first past the post to introduce some form of voting reform, if not entirely the systems which are practiced in Europe, but certainly first past the post should go. And this, together with the obsession with voters' IDs, the only election fraud that I have witnessed in my life was fairly obvious and took place in meetings in the UKIP party, and I was horrified, and I reported it when I could, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Nobody was interested. Unless UKIP stood a chance of winning, nobody was really interested in taking any action. Should UKIP have won, or should UKIP have come very close, then of course whistles would have been blown. But as it was a sort of shrug. Now, I would have thought that was more important than some sort of voter fraud, which has never been flagged up as something of a problem in our country. So why we now have to have voter ID is beyond me. I think the voter ID was a deflection from getting rid of the first past the from reinstalling the first past the post system for the mayoral elections, for the Westminster elections, for the mayoral elections in London, and getting rid of the supplementary vote. That went underground. That was something which people didn't notice, and the voting system change means a lot of voters felt they couldn't opt for their preferred choice on Thursday. Instead, they had to vote tactically, perhaps for what they considered to be a lesser evil. And so I think people felt frustrated in the London mayor elections, and I suspect it's perfectly possible that the change in voting system would have gone against the Conservative vote as much as for it. But it makes it more fractured, and from my point of view, it's about sustaining something which has already been recognised as old hat, as antique, and as something that really should be dumped as soon as possible. And retaining that is absurd.